We got a lot of history. We go way back. We ain't gonna tell people how far. but just for those who don't know, give us a little bit about your background.
Well, of course, my name is Andrew Scott, and I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, as you know.
Right.
And my artistic journey began in Brooklyn, New York.
Right.
Actually, like many of us, mine started at Beach Channel High with a wonderful teacher there by the name of Renee Darvin, who sort of like guided me in high school and recognized my talent. After finishing there, I got a scholarship to go to Long Island University out in Southampton to study drawing. And while there, I took a 3D design class and caught the sculpture bug.
Oh, wow.
And during that time, between leaving Long Island University, Southampton, and going to Ohio State for graduate school, that we met.
Right.
And I got my MFA in sculpture, but during that time I began to study computer graphics. And when I finished the work there, I went into the Advanced Computing Center for the Arts and Design, studied computer animation, recognized its relationship to sculpture, and the journey continued from that point.
But what's interesting about listening to you talk about that is that it's almost like as you're talking about it, I remember those phases. Because I remember you would send me stuff, man, and I remember you did the piece with the computer chips.
Right.
Oh yeah. So it's almost like I went through this thing with you, man.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful thing because, as you just stated, it's more of a strange way. It's a shared artistic journey,
right?
And you're one of the rare people who could say that you remember me when I was a painter.
Right. when you said earlier, you talk about you caught the 3D bug. I was like, oh, so that's when it shifted.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because in undergraduate school, I was a sculptor.
Okay.
But when I came back to Brooklyn, painting was what I could do.
Oh, okay.
And that artistic impulse had to find a place and a way to express itself.
Right.
And during that time, in that phase, in that moment, it was through painting and drawing. And it's a wonderful thing. But and also, you have seen this evolution of the work from knuckle dragging sculptor, making things out of steel, to doing these things that employ all of these digital and computer technologies, which is the other side of my artistic personality.
Well, one of the things I we talk about all the time is that people should know about your huge sculptures.
Right.
Those things were awesome. I love those.
And that's really putting that work into the broader context of the body of what I do, because a lot of people think, for whatever reason, I don't understand this, that all I do is sort of like this computer stuff, this digital fabrication stuff, because that's what they see now.
Okay.
But during those sort of Ohio years, when I had the big studio, there was never any need to make small work.
No.
And I was doing a lot of these large forms that were based on these forms found in African art. And that's where I sort of honed and developed that dialogue of recontextualizing these forms that we find in African art and putting a more modern, both material and social twist on them.
I love that too, because I remember that studio.
Right.
And I remember coming there one time and visiting you, man, and you had just some like these huge things. I'm like, dude, man, the African dolls, the fertility dolls, oh, those things were amazing.